Hello, and welcome to Nova Now, your connection to what's happening here in Northern Virginia. I'm Jessica Carver, your host. Whether you're a fan of classical, rock, or country, you've probably visited Wolf Trap for a show. Well, today I'm chatting with Beth Brummel from Wolf Trap about what's coming up this year and the Wolf Trap Foundation. Beth, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Great. So first off, the big question, what's happening at Wolf Trap this year? What are the highlights for the season?
We have a lot going on at Wolf Trap this summer, as we do every year. We are in the midst of a time of change at the organization. We have a relatively new CEO who joined us just about a year and a half ago. And so with that, we're doing a number of things this season that are a little bit different. Some of the things that we're really looking forward to and highlighting are some of our classical and dance and opera programming. You know, this is the year that's the 30th anniversary of the rebuild of the Feline Center after a devastating fire in 1982, and then 1983 was a rebuild year. In 1984, the center reopened, the Feline Center did, with Placido Domingo performing. And so this year we have some really big classical names. We've got Yo-Yo Ma with the National Symphony, which has been our partner for 40 years with the organization. We have Jean-Yves Thibodeau, who is a terrific pianist and will be with us this summer as well. We have Wynton Marsalis and the Lincoln Jazz Orchestra, which will be really fun, and just a whole host of contemporary and rock and pop shows, from Sarah Bareilles to The Fray to Jim Gaffigan, who's an awesome comedian. So we're really looking forward to a lot this summer.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And Wolf Trap is, it's a concert venue. It's also a foundation.
It is, yeah. We are a nonprofit organization, and we were formed by our founder, Catherine Feline-Schaus, who owned all of the land that the Feline Center and our foundation offices and the barns at Wolf Trap they're located on her former farm. And she donated that land to the government, to the United States, to be a national park for the performing arts. So every summer, the Feline Center opens. We run from basically sort of Memorial Day to Labor Day, and we try to bring a really diverse set of programming to as many people as possible across the region, and really from even outside the region.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that this is a time of change for Wolf Trap. So tell me a little bit more about some of those changes.
Sure. So in addition to some of the classical program that I talked about earlier, we also actually have a slightly new look. We did a little bit of a brand refresh this spring. So we just tried to go with a little bit more contemporary font and look and feel for the organization. So some of our outbound materials and advertising and marketing have changed, but it's the same Wolf Trap in the sense that we continue to offer that quality high programming across different genres for as many people as possible across the community.
Awesome. So Wolf Trap concert venue, what about family activities?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
So there's a lot for families this summer. I mentioned the National Symphony is a partner with us, but this year we have a couple of film programming that we're doing with the National Symphony. So we have Pixar films in concert, so if you're a fan of any of the Pixar films, Cars and that sort of thing, they will be playing the score live to that music while you watch the film at the Feline Center. So that'll be a lot of fun. We have a great group called the Fresh Beat Band, which is really kind of hot with the 2 to 5-year-old set. So that's kind of truly a family-friendly activity. They're coming to us later this summer for a Saturday performance. It'll be really fun. And then we also, one of our other venues is the Children's Theater in the Woods, and that program is run out of our education department, and so we do a lot of quality programming for kids and families every day in the summer, except for Sundays and Mondays, and it's a 10:30 in the morning show, and it lasts for about 45 minutes, and it's really geared for that sort of under 9 crowd, and it's really just great entertainment, everything from really terrific dancers to world music to, again, we do some comedy there. We actually even have our opera company go down and do what's called an instant opera program, where they basically make up an opera for kids on the spot with the audience help, and it's really a lot of fun. So there's a lot of great stuff for kids. And then afterwards, we find that the families will stay in the park and they'll picnic and they'll have just a great outing, because again, it's a national park and it's a place where we want music and nature and the arts all to come together.
Yeah. And so you've mentioned, we've talked about the Feline Center, and I think that's the area of Wolf Trap that people are probably most familiar with.
Yeah.
And then the Children's Theater, and then the barns.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what kind of happens in each area.
Sure. So the barns at Wolf Trap is on the other side of the highway from the national park, and it's completely run and managed by Wolf Trap Foundation. And we do our barns programming is primarily fall, winter, and spring, and it's a smaller venue. It's about 350 seats, so you'll see singer-songwriters, and you might see some comedy there. Certainly we have a great chamber music series that runs throughout that season. And then in the summertime, the barns becomes the home for the Wolf Trap Opera, and that program is a young artist training program for singers who are coming out of conservatory. They have a lot of training behind them, and what we do in this program is it's a very selective program. We do, our team goes around the country and listens to about 400 different opera singers, and then selects about 15 of them to be in this program. And it allows them to really take a leadership role in an opera. So they're really carrying the show. They're playing a lead as opposed to being a chorus member or playing a more minor part. And it's a way of helping them develop their craft as they launch onto their sort of career as an opera singer. We're particularly excited this year because we have Eric Owens joining us this year. Eric is one of the top 5 opera singers really in the world, and he's an alumnus of the Wolf Trap Opera program, and he'll be with us as an artist in residence this summer. So our opera company is really going to benefit from his wisdom and knowledge, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Excellent.
We're doing Carmen at the Feline Center this summer that will feature, again, the National Symphony and the opera program.
Great. So how can we get more involved with Wolf Trap?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get involved. First, come out for a show this summer. There's a lot to choose from. And we really do feel like there's a little bit of something for everyone, we hope. Certainly joining us on social media. We're really active on Facebook and Instagram and all the places you would imagine. So we're happy to have people.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Beth.
Thank you so much.
And for more information about all things Wolf Trap, visit their website at wolftrap.org. Hopefully we'll see you out at a show. And thank you for joining us on Nova Now. I'm Jessica Carver.